And here's the other thing that is quite unprecedented. And it was the tightest, closest presidential election in the 21st century. He does not have a mandate. Closest presidential election in the 21st century. He does not have a mandate. That is not a mandate. That is not a mandate. So we remember, and oh, you got it too, Carlos.
I had to give you your moment.
But the other thing, and you and I have talked about this.
Kamala Harris's new memoir of the 24 election is called 107 Days, but it should have been called Everyone Sucks But Me. 107 Days is a victim's title because, get it, she only had 107 days to win. Yeah, and $1.5 billion, and a built-in army of about 75 million people who'd vote for any human-adjacent life form that wasn't Trump. But in 107 days, nothing is ever Kamala's fault. Biden lets her down by not stepping down sooner. Pouty face emoji. Gavin Newsom, he was asked for his endorsement, but texted, "Hiking, we'll call back." But then never did. And then he didn't even ask her to prom. America itself lets Kamala down by not being ready for the running mate she really wanted, Pete Buttigieg. So she's stuck with the Home Depot paint salesman. And the rest is herstory. Poor Kamala. We made her the star of a rom-com and didn't even give her a gay best friend. Kamala writes that on election night, when it was clear she'd lost, an aide peeled the words "Madam President" off the cupcakes before handing them out. Oh, geez, that's like a scene from Bridget Jones Runs for President, for Christ's sake.
The problem is not that Kamala's campaign was too short, it's that it was too long. That when people actually listened to what she had to say, her polling went down and down and down. I think that if we had a 150-day campaign, we probably would have had 3 additional Republican senators, and Donald Trump would have won by an even bigger landslide, because the more people know about Kamala Harris, the more they realize there's no substance there. I mean, agree or disagree with Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, they actually had substance. They could actually articulate a viewpoint. I listened to Kamala Harris for 90 seconds, and I actually feel like I've gotten dumber in the process, and I have no idea what she actually believes. That's the problem with Kamala Harris, and it's going to continue to be her problem unless she actually learns how to develop a viewpoint, articulate it for the American people. Just say what you actually believe. Don't do this word salad, talking around in circles. It doesn't work, and it's why she didn't win.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Damn it, give me the claps. Yeah. Wow. So Kamala has a vivid memory of losing and obviously doesn't remember things very well from the past. Let's clear some things up before I even get into my dialogue on her. Let's get into some facts, because that's what we want to ride on. Facts that punch him in the mouth. Okay, so Kamala said, she made a statement, and I'm not saying anybody correct her about the mandate thing. You know, there's no legitimate amount of votes to have to get a mandate. It's not a technical term it's not solid as a rock. You know, if you do this, you get a mandate, which means you can do this. No, it's no exact number that you get this thing, which is like you get permission to be president. No, that's called winning, Kamala. See, you win, and you get to be president. You get this. You get a pin. Okay, so the 2016 presidential election, Donald Trump lost the national popular vote to Hillary Clinton. But he still won the presidency. So you could say you got a lot of votes, but you did not win the popular vote. Trump lost the popular vote to Hillary in 2016. He won the Electoral College. And he beat you by, 80 points in the Electoral College? A lot more resoundingly in the Electoral College than he did Hillary Clinton. So if you look at back historically, other than the fact that more people voted this time, I would say Hillary did a better job than you because she actually did win the popular vote. Kamala Harris did not win the popular vote, so I don't even know what she's talking about. What else did she say? She said, if you look at the hard facts, this wasn't a squeaker. It was a clear win that gives Trump the green light to lead. In fact, folks, if we go back historically, we start looking at things in other elections. Remember 2000? That's when Bush, he won, but he didn't win because Bush was the closest overall. It had to be decided at the Supreme Court. Bush Gore was the closest. Some people don't even think Bush won that shit. Now, you mean to tell me you think that your race was tighter than that when they had to go to court to find out who won? All right, fine. The GOP's popular win biggest popular one was 2004, Bush, okay? Bush killed it. He had a 2.4 popular vote margin over whoever that was. I forget who he ran against in 2004. Okay, so Obama did well both times. Trump, like I said, he lost the popular vote in 2016. Biden had a clear popular vote win over Trump, and he won the Electoral College, just like Trump had over you in 2024. But let's be clear here, guys, and people need to know this. Trump didn't just beat Kamala Harris. He didn't just edge her out. He beat her resoundingly. He flipped 7 swing states. He crushed her in the Electoral College, as I stated, not by 80 points, but by 86 points. He pulled the biggest raw vote total ever for a candidate. Yeah, he ran a Boston on Kamala Harris. And this heifer's running around telling people at these rallies trying to sell her book that she did a great job. I don't know if she knows what a great job is, but it can't be where you lose the House, the Senate, the presidency, and lose 7 swing states. And the person sets a record against you, getting the most votes in history. Yeah, that would count. So this mandate myth is just that, a myth, not a thing that you can believe in. Trump got 49.8 plus Republican control of the House and Senate, a unified government for the first time in years. That's a stronger setup than Biden had in 2021. Voters didn't just tolerate him, they turned out in record numbers to say, go time on the economy, on reform, on the immigration reform. That's what it was. Those were the things he ran on, and that's what he's doing. Well, you ain't got to like him. You ain't got to clap for him. I damn sure know Kamala wouldn't. But what I'm saying is the American people chose who they chose. And Kamala's still walking around talking about this shit. She wrote a book that I don't know who's going to read it. Why would anybody subject themselves to a bunch of whining from a loser? Let's be clear, fam. She deserved to lose. She didn't run on anything. To this day, people can't tell you what Kamala ran on. Though they're convinced they would have been happier under Kamala, but they can't tell me why. They just say she would have done things that Trump didn't do. They can't tell me what those things are. So here we go. In the book, this book she's walking around, this 107 days. First of all, I want people to think about this for a second. Should it take 100 days to tell people about your presidency? All of us have had job interviews. I don't think we've ever had an interview that lasted 100 days. I don't give a shit what the interview is. If you can't consolidate and make it concise and tell the American people what you plan to do, in fact, I think it should only take like a week. Yeah, see, if it only took a week, if you only could run for office for 1 week instead of 18 months, it would cost $2 billion to run. Yeah, Kamala Harris blew like $2 billion. Some say 2.5, some say 1.5. I'm gonna go with 2, okay? Cut the difference in half. What I'm saying is, I think it should take less time to run. Her whole book premise is that she didn't have enough time to beat Trump. You were vice president for 4 years. That don't count? You were in power. You're the most high-profile woman in America. That don't count? You had $2 billion. That wasn't enough? Man, I think we need shorter election times. We need shorter cycles for elections. The general election, most other countries don't have an open campaign for any office for 18 months a year. Now, this is just crazy talk. And that's why it's so rigged. And that's why it takes all this money to run, because it's a long, drawn-out process. If candidates had to convey exactly what they're going to do in like a week, they start off telling you, they get right to that shit. They would come out and say, look, I'm going to do this. So this is what I stand for. This is what I'm going to do. There'll be no time for word salad. Most Americans, I think, want less word salad. If we want more truth, we want more direct talk. Yeah, you come in, you tell people what your plan is. You have a debate. Maybe you have 2 debates. And that's it. People go vote. They go decide based on that. I mean, really, guys, think about it. Did you really have a hard time picking who you were going to vote for? Come on, man. You knew you didn't win. If you was in the tank for Trump, you had already made your mind up before you knew. Before election day. Like, it's not like who went to the election day, to election day was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my mind up when I go on in to vote. I ain't even thought about this shit. Nah, man, you went in, you probably knew. I'm a guess, and I'm gonna say, based on myself and based on people I know, based on doing this show, 1, 2, 3, 4 elections, 4 elections? I would say 90% of the time, people already knew who they were going to vote for. They all had a pretty good idea. And the other people were already leaning. They just wanted to keep hope alive. They were like, I kind of feel this way, but maybe I. But most people already knew what they were going to vote for. It's not like they needed a year to come to that conclusion. Not the general. Maybe the primary. You know, primary, maybe need a little bit more time in the primary because it's a bigger field. But even that could be shorter. That could be shorter. So what's in this book, fam? I know you want to know what's in the damn book. Okay, let me tell you what's in the book. A bunch of crying, a bunch of pointing fingers, bunch of blame. In fact, Kamala blames everybody except Kamala. Everybody catches stray. She calls out Obama, Buttigieg, Tim Walz, Shapiro. I mean, she called everybody names. Like, I don't even know. Like, obviously her political career is over, right? It's done. No more shot. No more doing. I don't know what she's gonna do. Maybe she's gonna open up a YouTube channel. Maybe she'll do that. Maybe she'll do like Joy Reid and open up her YouTube channel, The Kamala Harris Show. You know what I'm saying? Because what else can she do, man? Her political career is done. She shitted on the Democratic Party. She blamed the Democrats for the whole thing. It's all their fault. It's Biden's fault. It's Obama's fault. Everybody's fault. So basically, what could she run as? She ain't gonna be able to run as a Democrat if she tries to run in office. What's she gonna run as? She blamed Newsom. How did Newsom owe her anything? Like, I'm not a Newsom fan. I'm not a Newsom fan. But Newsom didn't owe her anything. Probably saw his competition. probably didn't like her very much, but she threw him under the bus in the book. Anybody she could blame, she blamed. So now she's got no career. She's got no future. So basically, all those black women that spent all that damn money. Remember all that money those black women raised on that Zoom call? They were all proud of themselves. We raised this money in 2 days. Look at us. They could have used that shit for their own communities. Yeah, giving it to Kamala Harris, she just gave it to her friends. She just bought favors in the future from Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, Oprah Winfrey. Because she won't be a politician anymore, Johnson. So basically, you put your money into a dead stock. Yeah, you threw a bunch of money into, I don't know, Circuit City. Circuit City stock. I don't know if you noticed or not, but there is no more Circuit City. Yeah, you put all your money in a Blockbuster. And then the block got busted. So let's be clear here, Johnson. When you shit on the Democratic Party, believe me, I know, your future with the Democrats is done. You're through. Ask Nina Turner. Ask her. It's over. I love Nina Turner. That's no diss to her. I'm just saying she knows how dirty and petty the Democrats are. First person that came to mind. So if she does try to run again, what's she gonna do? Run as a Green Party member? Well, let me tell you this, sister, and I know a little something about the Green Party. If you try to run for office as a Green Party candidate, you ain't gonna be raising no $1 billion. Damn sure ain't gonna be $2 billion. Ain't gonna be $1 billion. Hell, I doubt if it's 500,000. I see you. If you run as a Green Party, you'd be lucky to get $20,000, a box of stamps, a bus transfer, and 2 pounds of weed. Now, I say 2 ounces of weed. There you go. Not the good shit either. You know what I'm saying? Not the good shit. But, because that's it. You're done. There's nothing else. What you going to do, become a Republican? I don't know if they'll have you. So Kamala Harris's tour is a bore. It's whack. It's a slap in the face to all the people that supported her. And you saw the clip. They're clapping for her. They got to. The grift is still going on, but at the end of the day, she's going to be working with her husband in the business in Hollywood, just like the Obamas. Stay on the lookout for the Kamala Harris podcast. It's going to be serving a lot of cheese and wine. Lots of wine. A box wine. Yeah, that's going to be our sponsor. Bocella Wines. What's the big wine company? Bellagio Wines? Yeah. She's going to be sponsored by the wine company because she's going to be drunk and she's going to be doing a lot of whining. Anyway, let me know what you think about this segment. I think it's over for Kamala. Couldn't happen to a better person. I saw this coming. My condolences to all the women that put their hopes and prayers into Kamala Harris. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. She was an empty vessel, and she stayed empty the whole time.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.